So about a week ago, I stumbled upon these crazy big abandoned buildings in the middle of this nature preserve in Belgium. I was so confused as to like what it was, and people seemed to just be strolling through like it was just another evening walk with like their families and then their bikes. But not many people were exploring like the vast majority of the buildings, and they're like several floors. Seriously, this place was huge, and there were like no signs of any like preventative measures to keep people out. I was honestly pretty scared like every turn, because I feel like it would have made for like a good hideout for like homeless people or like a cult or something. Most of the rooms were just the same, with some trash and some glass laying around. I could definitely tell teenagers used it as like a party spot, which would actually be pretty sick. Just blasting music through the concrete walls and just having an absolute ball. And I actually did run into a couple people standing outside this one hallway that like music was like thumping from within. I didn't know if it was like just them or there's like a full-on rager going in there, but honestly, kind of wish I joined. Favorite part of the main building was the top floor, since most of the roof had caved in and you could just overlook the rest of the nature preserve. There are also some like fire pits around, which I think would be pretty fun with some like friends. Some parts did get super sketchy though, like this one staircase where I almost hit my head on this like piece of steel, rusted steel sticking out from the wall, and this metal beam that was like hanging on by a thread. There are also like these weird tunnels that led to like who knows where, but I did not dare go down those. I eventually spotted a couple of other buildings that looked like parking garages or something, but they looked like they had rooftop access, so I then made it my mission to get to the top of one of these. On my way over, I did find a couple other buildings that were actually pretty cool looking, because they did have like plants and stuff growing in them. Anyways, I finally made it over to the parking garage, but to my dismay, the only way to the top was through this like homemade ladder that was like held together by rope. There are also these old elevators, but it didn't look like they have been used in a long time. I did think long and hard about like going up the ladder, but I decided not to. There was another parking garage that, you know, I thought I'd try to get to the top too, so I just kind of gave up on that one. The entrance was pretty sick on this one, and I had a good feeling about it. I think there was about 4 or 5 flights of stairs, but I wasn't about to lose hope. I started to notice light coming from up above. I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, and sure enough, the staircase led straight to the top, where I had a wonderful view of the afternoon sun shining on the whole compound. I felt pretty powerful up there, looking down on everyone below, and had this like sense of accomplishment. After taking in the moment, I headed back down, where I had a lot of difficulty trying to get out of the preserve. It took me about an hour, but I eventually got out. So since then, I've done some research on the place, and I guess it was some sort of military fortress back in the day, and I think it's been repurposed into a couple things, including a hospital. And I guess in the 80s, they just kind of gave up on it and abandoned it. Pretty cool though. I mean, the place was so big, it was impossible to explore this whole thing. I pretty much spent all day there, and I'd love to go back someday, honestly. Hopefully I didn't step on any needles.